3 in 5 people, so 60% of people in Ireland, a majority, agree European countries should be allowed to delay meeting the EU environmental targets in order to deal with the current energy crisis. So, Lord, make me chaste on global warming, just not yet.
I think it's entirely understandable. 60% say we should be allowed to delay meeting the targets. 30%, so twice, 30% say we shouldn't. So twice the number of people think we should delay the targets as opposed to those who think we shouldn't. And I think it's entirely understandable because people are afraid. And partly they're afraid because of the media, and partly they're afraid because they're looking at their bank balances, but they're worried about heating their homes, they're worried about their kids, they're worried about their parents, and they're saying to themselves, I don't know that I can afford to heat my home this winter. I don't know what we're going to do. And then we're having all these other things like carbon taxes put in on top of it. I get it. And I understand the need to deal with climate change. I'm not in no way denigrating the importance of climate change, but I understand where people are coming from when they say, do you know what, can we just defer it for a year? Because we've had a couple of tough years between pandemics and now wars in Europe.
Yeah, because we were saying the same thing 2 years ago
you
during
see,
the
I
pandemic.
knew you were going to say that. That's why I mentioned it.
I'm
because
saying
these
it because
are extraordinary times.
I'm saying it because it's true. There's always extraordinary times.
No, there isn't.
Ciara, there's always extraordinary times.
There is not always wars and pandemics. That is extraordinary
There are
times.
always wars. The pandemic was extraordinary, but there'll always be something on the agenda, and there'll always be a reason. You know, like during it, we could have said in the last 10 years, we could have said, oh, not now because of the economic crisis. Oh, not now because of the pandemic. Oh, not now because of the war in Ukraine. There will always be something like that. The reality is, global warming, it's estimated, is already killing 5 million people a year. That is the population of this country is dying because of global warming every year already. And things are only going to get worse. And we can keep putting it off, and we can keep saying we can't do it now because... But what we're doing is killing future generations by doing that. And let's not sugarcoat it. That is the truth. Now we can say there's reasons for it and so on, but that is the reality. That is the truth. And saying anything else is delusional. Now we can agree to do it, and we can say we're not doing it yet, but pretending it's not going to have an impact is delusional.
And I'm not denying the impact that it's going to have. I'm saying I understand why people are going, because people deal with, and I've said this before on the show, immediate problems today, and they deal with long-term problems tomorrow.
It's not a long-term problem, though.
But it is for people here now, because they're not going... Ireland isn't dying this year.
Well, sorry, people in Ireland are dying because of global warming. People have died in Ireland because of global warming.
What?
Not to the same extent. Well, because of extreme temperatures, for example. We have had people, because of storms. We have had people dying in storms. We've had people dying in
no one has died
waves.
here for extreme temperatures.
Sorry, you don't know that.
We haven't had extreme temperatures here.
We have had extreme temperatures. We had extreme temperatures earlier on this summer. We have had extreme temperatures, and people have died because of that.
That is absolutely untrue.
It is not untrue, Ciara.
The kind of temperatures that people die at are high 30s into 40s, and we have never had that here.
We have had a series of red warnings about people.
We have had orange warnings about temperatures that no one have died during.
We have had red warnings about... Sorry, I will stick to facts.
No one has died here from extreme temperatures ever in Ireland.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Because no one dies at 29 degrees, Shane.
People in Britain have died from extreme temperatures.
That's not what you said, and I don't know the answer to that one.
People in Ireland, I am sure, have died from extreme temperatures. I'm sure they have
absolutely not.
And they certainly have died from storms and extreme weather. They have died. Absolutely, they have died from that. And that will continue to increase. So it's not true to say it doesn't have an impact. 1,200 people also die every year prematurely because we burn fossil fuels every day.
Well, that's a slightly different point.
Well, it's not slightly different. It's exactly the same.
But I accept
That's the same thing.
Well, it's not climate change, it's air pollution. It's slightly different.
But by putting off, what we're saying, we're putting off climate, so let's burn fossil fuels.
I'm saying I understand people worried about not being able to heat their homes. I'm saying I understand that. I understand this survey.
But let's not pretend it doesn't have an impact.
They're not dying of extreme temperatures.